Yo, what is going on, guys? And welcome to the third episode of the North American Network game. Here with me, Jack, Ben, of course, Tamparama FC, playing alongside me in this game world. And my word, allow me to slip out a formal character here, because today is going to be possibly the most stressful match of FM I've ever played. I'm going to be completely honest. Here's why. League table, we are top of the league. Unbelievably, we've been behind for so long, and in a cruel twist of fate, we leapfrogged both Tamparama and Portland Timbers on the second to last match day as Tamparama slipped up, as did Portland Timbers, losing 2-1 to New England, who were 19th. And now the pressure is on us to close out this title. So we go into this final day knowing a win is enough guaranteed. It's not even worth considering the other options. We are playing San Jose Earthquakes, and a win is good enough to win us the title. So this is going to be an incredible end to the season. Preceding this game, I will have the end of season review for you guys, but I'm sure you can appreciate the stress that both myself and Ben are on. So we are both getting into our games here. Ben is going to be playing New York Red Bulls. We're not going to be looking at the results too much. We are playing San Jose Earthquakes. Hopefully we can get a result here, as we are favourites and everything is in our own hands. The pressure is on us to go out there and bring home the title in this, the first ever North American Super League season. So we can clinch the title. I'm going to big up the players. I've got faith in you all. Every single one of you I have faith in. Right, so with this being the final day, there's only one thing to do. Put on extended highlights. I'm adding to their stress factor. Hopefully we can do something here. Let's get goal highlights on as well on the close camera. And we go into this final game with it all resting on our shoulders. A win for us in our famous white astronaut outfit. We'll see the spacemen into orbit, and Kayotake with the first chance of the game, and Kyo cannot take it. Can we make anything of the rebound? Mangala heads it over. That's a clear-cut chance. That is a real opportunity 16 minutes in. If we draw, nothing's safe, because there's only 1 point separating us and Tamparama. And even Portland Timbers, if both ourselves and Tamparama were to lose, they'd actually go top of the league. So it's a three-horse race. We are the horse ahead. Let's try and stay ahead. There's a chance here. Evans, Brad Friedel with an insane saving goal. He has been incredible all year. 17 clean sheets in the 37 games so far this season. If he can get just one more today, that would make it 18 for the season and would really give us a fighting chance at getting the title. And Charlie Austin misses another chance so far. 23 minutes in. It's wide open. There are chances left, right and centre, but right now, no goals to speak of. Charlie Austin back from injury, looking for him to make a difference. Parker, Austin, options in the middle. Parker's there. It's safe. Kayotake's shot's blocked. I can't be dealing with this. I can't be dealing with this. And Meredith saves again. We're all over them. No, not like this. Brad Friedel, great save. Every time the ball goes into our box, my heart skips a beat. Before this game, me and Ben were chatting. Both of us. This might be the most stressful game of FM ever. Parker! Shot is blocked. It goes for a corner. Normally with these commentaries, I'd be analysing it all. Right now, my heart is on my sleeve. This is horrible. This has been the best part of 10 hours worth of FM played alongside Ben in this network game. And for it to come down to the wire like this is incredible. I'm hoping Dr. Benji can slip up. But right now, it's 0-0, and we need to ensure that we don't slip up. It's all in our hands. It's not been in our hands for the entirety of the season. We've been chasing and chasing. I know at the halfway stage when I did the last video, we were top of the league. Immediately preceding that, we slipped down to second, and it's been like that for much of the season. This is our chance. Kayotake! Another save. This is 6 clear-cut chances our way, and no goal to speak of. And that is another incredible save by their keeper. This is unbelievable. Can we make something this time? No, we can't. Kayotake back into the middle. Maybe. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. How about this time? Please? I can't be dealing with this. Parker, bury it! He buries it! Let's go! 1-0 the Spacemen. Right before half-time. It's been a long time coming, but finally we get our first goal there. Shawnee Parker, player who I brought in as a young prospect at the start of this season, thought he might edge into the team now and then, has held his position through the entire season. He actually finds himself contending for the top goal scorer award, and if he can get one more, I believe, this game, he would actually find it, assuming that other players in the league don't score. So there is a little bit riding on him to do that. But right now at the break, 1-0, fantastic performance so far, but at 1-0, there's that nagging doubt in your mind that there might just be that one chance that falls San Jose Earthquakes way. So can we see this out? Austin, straight from kickoff, surely not. It's not going to happen. Cleared away there. I can't be dealing with this. It's still only 1-0, and so long as it stays 1-0, I'm going to be paranoid. Let's make some changes. Austin's not had the best game, neither's Kiyotake, but he's the kind of player you keep on and he can really have an impact when you least expect it. So I'm going to switch out Fernandez, who's pretty knackered. I'm going to put Kiyotake into the deep line playmaker role and bring in Pablo Aimar in at centre, attacking mid, to hopefully just liven us up there with a little bit more of his kind of creative flair and just his intelligence on the ball. Still nothing. 10 minutes left. Can anything come our way? Please. Anything. 3 minutes, 2 minutes, it can stay like this at this point. 4 minutes left to hold out. This has been a game of not many chances. Brad Friedel catches it. That should be full time. 1-0, certainly not convincing, but that should get us over the line with a stumble to win the league in what has been an incredible first season. Both myself and Dr. Benji, we did not expect to be this high up in the table. We saw clubs signing players like Griezmann. We saw Sounders signing Jordan Henderson. Varane also joining the LA Galaxy ranks. But right now it's Ryan Shawcross's moment as the captain gets the Man of the Match award and we win our first ever North American Soccer League title. And as you can see here, Tampa finishing 1 point behind us. Portland Timbers also winning, just 2 points separating the top three. Incredible. Wow. Well, on that note, guys, I will join you guys for the post-season review and we'll look at what went our way throughout the course of the season. Right, guys, so I guess now that we've endured that last game of the season, and you guys have seen us lift the title, I should talk a little bit what's happened since the previous episode, which of course was at the end of January. So, as you can see here, we've won the league, 1-0. You can see our squad payout here is 2.4 million. Curtain comes down. I've entered the Hall of Fame as the first kind of winner of this competition. Our prize money's in. We're loving it. We've qualified for the American Gold Cup, as of Tampa, so there's going to be more Tampa Spacemen kind of rivalry, I guess, going on. Just a quick look at the awards here as well before I go into any more detail. You can see Kiyotake won the MVP award. Garcia won the Serie A Manager of the Year. I'm not sure why that's there. Let's unsubscribe. Boom. Bye-bye, Syria. Sean Parker won the top goalscorer award in our division. I mentioned that in the live comment itself of the game, that he was right up there. He's had a fantastic season. More on that in a second. Austin won Young Player of the Year. Charlie Austin, 17 goals in 26 games. He's been superb. We won Manager of the Year. Friedel won the Gold Glove Award, or Golden Glove Award, for the most clean sheets. So I guess you could say it's been a pretty good season. I think it'd be difficult to argue with that. And also the Team of the Years here, you can see our back five all getting in it, as well as Parker and Austin. So all in all, it's been a pretty darn good year for the Spacemen. So anyway, since the last episode, I'll show you the fixtures, because it's been crazy. It really has been, and that is not an understatement by any means. So Portland Timbers was the last game we live-com last episode. Since then, you can see what an incredible kind of end to the season it's been. There's been wins, there's been losses. The defeat at LA Galaxy was painful. Dallas defeats. A defeat against Tampa against Ben's team was heartbreaking. The second one of the year. And at this point of losing this game, we actually dropped 4 points behind them. As you can see, Wayne Routledge and Ross McCormack getting the goals here. The first one came, I believe, kind of from a set piece that we just failed to clear as Routledge buried it. And then McCormack, as I mentioned, got the second. But this game saw us slip 4 points behind Tamperama, and that was so painful. Honestly, at that point, I kind of thought the season was over, but we've stuck with it. And what a turnaround it's been. I showed the past positions a second ago, just so you guys can see them again, because, I mean, between ourselves and Tamperama and Portland Timbers have to be included in there. It's just been such an incredibly tight title race. Obviously, ourselves in red have snatched it right at the death, but you can see here just how end-to-end it's been. Tamperama themselves, and Ben will mention this in his own video, which you can check out in his in the description of this video. So if you want to see Ben's perspective, you can check that out. But he had a really rough end to the season. I won't go into too many details, but it'd be difficult to argue against the fact he blew it. And that sounds horrible for me to say, but they only won, out of their last few league games, they won one of their last 7. Or 2 of their last 7, sorry. They lost the majority of them. So that's been tough on Ben, but you can see we had an issue around the same period, which I thought was going to cost us, but we saw things through. The big win, and the one that I'd say was the biggest win of all, was actually against Seattle Sounders on the second to last day of the season in terms of match days. Charlie Austin here getting the Man of the Match award. We won 3-0. But Seattle Sounders were in 4th place at the time, and we were in 3rd here. This was a game that we won to leapfrog both Portland Timbers and Tamperama. It was a game that we had to win. And as I mentioned, we won 3-0, and it saw us go to the top of the table, beating a team 4th in the league. It was a real test, Seattle Sounders. Their squad, I don't want to say it's incredible. I don't want to big it up too much. But they've got some very strong players. They've got Jordan Henderson. They've got players like Obafemi Martins. Clint Dempsey, of course, is there. It wasn't easy, but what we did do was we got the win. As you can see, Sean Parker grabbing a goal there. He really turned up the heat at the end of the season. But this was the game which, I guess on the back of, I really had some faith in our team that this was our season. As you can see, Austin grabbing his second of the game there. So in terms of the actual team itself, not a lot's changed with the system. It's the same system I started with. It's the same system I built a squad for, and it's worked. It's just kind of clicked, and that is fantastic to be able to say. In terms of the squad itself, there's certainly going to be players that get shifted on this year. There's a lot of dead wood, and that's just simply down to the fact that when I was building my side, I would bring in players and then I'd see better alternatives and end up chasing after them. And particularly in the attacking department, we kind of experienced that. Cal and probably Danny Ings will both probably go out at the end of the season. So that's that. In terms of the squad's main performers, you can see here in terms of appearances, Mangala, Aguila, Friedel, and Aldrete lead the way with 41 starts. Again, that just kind of, I guess, illustrates the consistency in our back four. Shawcross, the only other member of our defence, he didn't play every game. He actually got suspended, which is why he missed out on one game there. In terms of our strike force, you can see here Charlie Austin and Sean Parker leading the way in terms of the attackers, but Kiyotake chipping in with 19 goals of his own has been really impressive. The fact that Austin actually ended up being our squad's top goal scorer despite being out with a torn hamstring for 3 months is really testament to how players around him rallied, but also the influence he had on our squad in the first half of the season. The fact that the 3 attacking players in our tactic were able to get 60 goals between them in all competitions really gives you an idea of how key they were in our success. In terms of kind of, I guess, the assists, you can see here Kiyotake leads the way with 21. Lucas Romero, though, also chipped in with 12. The young deep line playmaker really improved this year. Perhaps not as much as I'd wish, but he is one of the most valuable players in the squad, and it's going to be very tricky to hold on to him for this summer because there's probably going to be some big teams coming in for him. But all in all, it's been a really, really impressive season. When me and Ben started this, given the money that we had to start, given the signings that some teams made, we knew it was going to be tough building squads. But what we've done is we've both built very successful teams, and to be both in the Gold Cup is going to be pretty exciting for next year. In terms of the average ratings, Kiyotake leads the way along with Charlie Austin. Mangala was the other real standout who consistently featured in the first team. Rated by our assistant as 4.5 star, making him the highest rated player in the team. He's been superb this year. The 23-year-old has improved a lot. He came in for £10 million. He's averaged a 7.47 average rating in the league, which is incredible for a centre-half. To get 4 man of the matches as well as impressive, and to get 6 goals, mostly from set pieces, really illustrates how important he was from set pieces when we got the ball up in the air to him. Other players to feature in terms of good performance, Alvaro Fernandez deserves a mention. The 28-year-old came in as really a player who I thought might be on the fringe, a player who might come in and play centre mid here and there. But the 28-year-old really bedded himself well into their first team this year. Came in for 2.7 million, which wasn't cheap, but he's made 29 appearances and a 7.4 rating is really impressive. Perhaps not as many assists and goals as you might expect for a player to have those kind of stats, but when he has played, he's played very well, and it's also been pretty pleasing to see him feature in Uruguay's national team a fair bit this year. But besides that, really, there's not too much more I can show you in terms of the team, other than the fact it was just a fantastic team performance. You can see the average ratings here. The majority of players, particularly those highlighted in green within our kind of first choice starting 11, all averaging above a 7.0 rating. In terms of the actual league kind of stats, in terms of team stats, just have a quick look at them here. You can see in terms of form, we dipped a little bit, but it was good enough to get us over the line. A lot of these stats are a lot more kind of relevant. But if we go to the player stats, you can see here we really did dominate. Games won, you'd kind of expect. The average rating one is really testament to how well our team performed as a whole. In terms of appearances, as I mentioned, a few of our players played every single league game. You can see Frieden and Aguila featuring there. Goals, Parker led the way. He finished ahead of Lenhart because he'd played less games. Good to see Charlie Austin also getting 5th. Rather unfortunate for him that he only finished 3 goals off Parker's record, considering that Austin did miss the best part of 3 months of the season, which equated to about 12 games. In terms of the assist, Kiyotake leading the way there. And distance covered, good to see Aguila, our fullback, covering a lot of ground, as well as Alborete. Really good to see our fullbacks really getting up and down the pitch, because it's key that they provide all the width. And Kiyotake, mentioned him on the assists, he also led the way with the most player of the matches, grabbing 7, which is another reason why he got the MVP award. So going into next season, as I mentioned, there's going to be a few players who I try and get rid of. I think the main area that I'm going to be looking to improve is actually the centre-mid department. It's a position that, I mean, we have Romero for, and we have Kiyotake, but alongside them, despite Fernandez and Guide's great performances, they're simply not good enough at this level. But besides that, I'm relatively happy with the rest of the team. I'm probably going to look to bring in a few fresher faces, probably a few more Americans going to make their way into the side. The prize money that we got for the league is really helpful, and that's going to help us build for the future. Looking at the finances, we got, I think it was 46 million for winning the league. That's taken our balance up to 41 million, so that's really impressive. And really, next season's going to be a really intriguing, I guess, tie as we try and build up a squad capable of competing in the continental competitions, but hopefully move on to retain our title. So anyway, guys, that wraps things up for me for this season and episode 3 of this North American Network game. I'd love to know what you guys make of this network game. What did you make of this end? Me and Ben couldn't quite believe how things really panned out in the end. Just an incredibly close affair, but I think it's safe to say it's pretty entertaining for us to play, and it's very entertaining for you guys watching. So anyway, if you want to smash the like button, it does help me a load. If not, no worries, I will still love you. And other than that, I will talk to you guys in a bit. It's me, Jack, and I'm out.